I'm gonna run to the bathroom real quick, and I'll let you guys just kind of yell.
Oh, but I have to pee.
Yeah, I'm doing
Oh,
same
the live has started. Hi, guys. I'll be back.
Bro's gotta pee.
Bro has to pee. Oh man, Jesse, what do we talk about while they're gone? You want to say some racist shit?
Most definitely, my good fellow.
What's up, guys?
Who's watching? Hey, chat. What's up? Is that Gavin? Gavin, is that you watching the stream on your
Yeah, is
phone?
that you, Gavin? I bet it's you, Gavin.
Maybe it's Aaron. Is that Aaron? Is that him? Oh, they left.
Good. Scared him off.
And stay out! Oh! I think it was Gavin.
Hey, Jesse. Hey, Jesse.
It wasn't me. I was listening on my headphones.
Look, Jesse, look at me in the Discord call.
What the fuck?
James, look at me in the Discord call.
Look. Oh!
Come here!
Sigma.
I feel so bad for the people who are watching this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ah! Fight off the evil!
You fight. Oh shit, Harold and Gunk?
Let's get some music going, gang. Let's get Flight of the Valkyries off the docket.
God, dude. Oh my god. Jesse.
Oh.
This is the perfect environment for Frosty.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
Hello.
We'll bring them out.
Hello, kids at home. Ugh. We gotta wait for Aaron. So, just to kind of
Damn,
explain-
cracking one open already? Christ.
Dude, well, we're chilling, you know. We get to finally decompress after such a banger of a session.
God, that was such a banger.
Kind of explain what this is to our very existent audience. This is something we've been joking about. Like, you probably have heard these characters say sidebar, 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 sidebar. And we always joked at some point we would have like a podcasty discussion type thing called the sidebar, where we would discuss everything within the session. But I feel like we're getting really contemplative about OVERDOGS as a whole. And I think we kind of just want to take a moment and reflect and appreciate what we've created these last 23 episodes and more. I kind of want to explain a little bit of the origins of the OVERDOGS to start off, like where this all began.
Yeah, and why you're missing a little bit of information.
Yeah, a little bit of context. Yeah, we'll address all that once Aaron gets here. I want to start off of like the night this all came to be, the night where we decided to host a D&D game, you know?
At 5 a.m.
Yeah, it was at 5 a.m., wasn't it? God,
Yep,
Dude,
I remember.
that poor ogre.
God, did we do that one shot on that night too?
Yeah.
It was more of a test.
Yeah, it was a test run.
Yeah, that was just us testing our shit.
Yeah, that-
Like, recognizing how the game works, figuring it out.
Yeah, at 5 in the fucking morning. And then the next... Before we went to sleep, you're like, I need you to write me some homework. And I was like, huh?
Yeah, we'll talk about
Ah, we cooked. We
We'll
cooked.
get into it. I kind of just want to... I also want to take this time as a DM to appreciate my wonderful players here, as the campaign cannot happen without you guys, and truly, it has been amazing working with you all, and how collaborative you guys have been and supportive of the ideas I've been pitching out. And I really just want to get into it. I want to get into the nitty-gritty. I also want to take this as a chance to kind of pull the curtains back a bit and kind of you know, you guys can ask some questions about the true intentions of some of my decisions, and if this was planned or if I just made this up on the spot. Because I'm not kidding when I say most of this campaign was made up on the spot.
Huh?
Literally, we'll get into it. You can ask me anything, and I can tell you how premeditated it was. But I can tell you that maybe 60% of the campaign was on accident.
That's fucking insane.
Our reoccurring enemy, the Jingler.
Yeah, that was a joke. And then, oh god, we have to explain the Edge Wizard too. Oh, we gotta explain where that started.
We gotta explain a lot of things.
We're gonna do it. God,
Dude, the Jonkler origins, I'm excited to explain.
that one is the most left field one.
That one has lore.
The stupidest type of lore too.
The best? I mean, the best?
Yeah, we gotta replay that Fortnite mode again.
Don't give away too much.
Spoilers.
Dude, historians will be retelling this podcast like it was a fucking event.
Don't worry, it was just a little tease for the audience.
Gotta keep you on the edge. The Edge Wizard.
Alright, God, where the fuck is Aaron? I'm so ready to go. I've been waiting for when we were all in the mood to do one of these, and God, I cannot wait.
Honestly, yeah, tonight's session just felt good,
It was a good
man.
session. It was a good session.
It's
I
so
put a
hype
lot
that
of
we
emotion
haven't-
into it.
I want to talk about things.
What was he doing again? Bathroom?
I think so.
Yeah, he said he needed a tinkle.
Who needs the tinkle?
Bro's taking a time with tinkling.
Chesterstone.
Fucking, damn. Yeah. Yeah.
There's no sound.
There's no sound. There's no sound to it. That voice line Jesse dropped earlier, where just Ymir went, shit.
Shit.
That was hard as hell.
I dropped two shits that episode.
Ew!
I did.
Oh, Overdog. God, most of the shit that we have in our campaign, we just kind of stole from some random source.
Well, stealing from others is the most sincere form of flattery, and also, we like stealing.
And also how 99% of D&D was founded.
Yes!
In first
King.
edition, they literally called halflings hobbits, and and they were like, the fucking Tolkien estate was like, you can't do that, and they were like, fuck.
Oh man!
Oh, that's good. Jazz.
Tell me about. Ah, my dog put his tongue in my mouth.
What?!
My dog started licking my face out of nowhere, and then while I was talking,
Man, Barbosa probably feeling confused as hell when Ymir turned into a wolf.
I don't know. I've been a bear, I think, and then now I'm a wolf out of nowhere. It's been a weird.
You're
mixed
still
match.
a bear.
Oh, it was a bear.
Yeah. Spoilers.
Hey, bears are pretty much dogs, but bigger. Look, man, they're both mammals.
Oh, Gavin, if there's spoilers, you have to put in the title with a discretion spoiler. Viewers' discretion.
Viewers discretion.
I can't wait for all of our viewers to see that spoiler warning.
Alright, listen, man. No, listen. Overdogs are so popular.
I'll do
Super.
episodes from spoilers from episodes 1 to 23.
Honestly, if Overdogs does at some point, like, just take off majorly out of nowhere, that would be crazy as hell.
I know.
The 0.1% chance of happening.
If that, because that's gonna point a fucking gun to my head to actually set a schedule for these streams, and then I'm never gonna want to do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I take this time to really just get ready for some, ask some random questions for me, and I will give you an in-depth answer. This is our time to have our, kind of like when, a random person just comes to your school, and the teacher's like, okay, ask them questions.
I know exactly what I'm thinking.
Alright, you can prepare a few, you know. I really want to get into. I want to completely pull the curtain off some things. Obviously, with spoilers, I'm keeping to myself. But
I can't, I can't keep multiple things in mind at the same time, because that's just not how my brain works, but I've got one thing that I'm really hard focusing on.
You can, write it down or something. Pull out your phone.
Taking notes has never really worked for me, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I just mean, it doesn't need to be oh, I'm gonna think about it. Just some random thing huh. Did
What
Kevin,
I do is...
Did Kevin plan on the Yetis being fancy? No, I didn't. That was something me and James, I think, just made up on the spot.
It was. I asked you something, and then out of fucking nowhere, their voices were that.
What? Ben and Jerry?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Good times. You know what? I'll put the chair in relax mode. Oh,
God.
we're maxing and relaxing. Where the fuck is Aaron?
Being
Bro's
a
tinkling.
slow poke.
Bro's pissing like a champion right now.
Bro's running out of water in his body.
He's gonna come back like, hey guys, let's do this trip.
Hey, what's up, guys?
What is that?
What the hell was that?
Snapchat.
Uh-oh.
Is this God's slowest elevator? Quite possibly. This music is very relaxing.
I know, that's right. I love jazz, man. I'm a jazzy boy.
I've always been a swing kind of guy. I like swing.
Hell yeah.
Hello.
There you are.
Hey,
Are we
I
ready
apologize.
for the Sidebar just started.
Yeah, I was.
I
I
think
got
we're ready to sidebar.
leftovers and everything put away from dinner.
Okay.
That's what you were doing.
So,
I also peed.
hell yeah. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the first ever OVERDOGS Sidebar. We've been wanting to do one of these for a while. And I feel like tonight, I feel like the stars are aligned. I was kind of thinking we would save these for like a significant number episode, I was thinking like a quarter special, like episode 25, but we're 2 off, who cares? So, welcome to the sidebar. Something I want to get into right off the bat is the origins of this campaign, where this all came from, the turbulent tale of how first the Cream Team and then the Overdogs came to be. So it all started one
I
glorious.
completely forgot about that. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Yeah,
Thank God.
It was.
I was
one
happier a
glorious-
few seconds ago.
One glorious night, I split apart from this friend group from a bit, and then I was invited back so kindly, and we had a night of debauchery, aka role-playing a NSFW furry game.
Oh my fucking god, I forgot.
That all happened that night. And it was a night that we pulled an all-nighter, and we just hung out, had a good time, and I had a little bit of to drink.
Gandera jump scare.
What?
What?
A little bit of to drink. Are you sure that you didn't do that today too?
Yeah, probably. I had a little bit to drink. And
Probably he doesn't know.
I remember I was showing you guys my painted D&D minis, being like, "Oh, look how cool they are." And I don't remember who exactly first brought it up.
I think it was me. I think I was like, I've always wanted to get into D&D, but I don't know.
And I was like,
Yeah.
dude, and at that point I was like I was so D&D hungry, and I was like so like rampant to bite my my little dice teeth into wherever I could. And so I was like, yeah, okay. And then that night, I had you guys make your characters, and we, in that same night, ran our first one-shot. It's been referenced many times, but the one-shot where Ymir cut off an ogre's balls and took his teeth.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's where all that started.
That's where all it started. And we ended up evolving this session from a one-shot to a session 0.
Yeah, that wasn't even gonna be canon. That was just like a combat encounter, and then you're like, actually,
It was
That's
a
canon now.
contract that we all
Yeah, we ended up making it into a bounty. And just right off this bat, I kind of just want to take a little bit moment of like, what was your guys' starting ideas for your characters and kind of how that came to fruition? Because a lot of shit has changed. A lot of shit. I think the one with the most significant difference is Kip by far. So let's start with that one.
Oh yeah.
What was Kip? What was your core ideas for Kip when you first made him, Aaron?
one second, let me turn down my jazz a little bit here. Holy shit.
Yeah.
I had it cranked to 200%. That was loud.
What were your first initial ideas for Kip, Rix?
I mean, it was pretty much as you described it. Every time we spoke of it, this is just a regular dude. Like, this is just a fucking guy. And I was kind of curious where you would take it.
Yeah, because that was something I made sure to tell him was give me a lot of open ends. That's something that
I took that to heart.
yeah, that's something Jesse really did. Was leave me a lot of open ends to like work with and kind of being like, oh, mysterious characters in your backstory, but you don't know who they are. I feel like everybody had a very different approach. I kind of want to describe that after we kind of go through everyone, but yeah, Kip. His backstory was like describing the most normal man ever. It was certainly a challenge. And we ended up doing something else with Kip. A little TikTok came into our possession. But we'll get into that soon. I want to go to Hey Bale, James. I want you to tell us a little bit what you had for our lovely Kenku friend the night you made him.
When I was making hay bale, I was very much in the mindset of somebody who doesn't really know how to interact.
Holding on to that one.
He was originally supposed to be a lot edgier, but I'm very glad I didn't take it in that direction.
Yeah, he very much became a fucking goofball.
Little cutie pie.
Yeah.
He's a Disney princess with an obsession with firearms.
Yeah, exactly, dude. That was always something I really liked about Haybill. He really brought a different dynamic into the group, especially after what kind of started this whole conversation is how we started finding the stride for our characters, and I think once Haybill kind of turned into like the more like, oh, let's have some fun and stuff like that. I think that's where we really
a bad hand fucked me up.
A bad hand is really where a lot of things came together.
That's where a lot of us realized what we were.
That's kind of when it started being bombastic D&D campaign. And
oh, hey, your stream is like fucking.
My music? Or
yeah, the music.
Oh.
The music.
Is it?
Oh yeah, it is.
Man, I thought this shit would fix when I got a $1,000 computer.
Oh, that's your internet,
That's
man.
just Discord streaming.
It's alright, yeah.
So, Jesse, please enlighten us on Ymir Frostwalker.
Kratos.
Of how you accidentally made
bald-headed.
strong jaw.
Yeah. Well, when I
this
first
was
started
fire.
making them, it was 5 a.m., so I didn't put a lot of thought into it. I kind of just made it on the spot, but I did have some ideas because I did play a lot of role-playing-esque games. So there, his braces and classes and all that, but my first idea I had while making Ymir was I was going to have him be a ranger beastmaster with, like, a bear or a polar bear as their, beast.
Wow, a lot of that really came full circle, huh? Barbosa, you being a
He was going to be like an Outlander type of guy who, got into this situation somehow. I never, wrote that whole thing. But that was the original idea. But then I saw, the whole barbarian thing, and I went from there. But my other idea was I was going to have him a necromancer wizard, which I did tell you at the very beginning, Gavin. I don't know if you remember. Where you're like, oh, you need a tank. And I was like, oh, yeah, that's probably right.
Yeah.
But if you didn't say that we need a tank, I probably would have went with this. And my idea was, I've told James this before, this necromancer idea, is that Ymir, his whole character is going to be that he saw all, like, the horribleness and just the sadness of the world, that he was going to go out and his mission and goal was going to be reviving dead heroes of the world to,
Shit.
make the world a better place.
Yeah, that's...
He was going to literally just raise the dead of dead heroes to fix the world since no one else can do it.
I can smell the character development in that. That's so cool. That's super dope. I actually really like that. That's a really solid idea.
Yeah,
It's a
That
really
was the
cool
original
character
idea.
but just my brain now seeing Ymir how he is. Imagining
Yeah, he was
being
gonna.
a
I was gonna give
necromancer now,
Ymir
I'm
a
just like,
Scottish
"Aw."
voice. He was gonna be a very Scottish man.
Yeah, a lot of shit.
I remember that because when we were starting out, you were very much turning
That's
Scottish.
why I had Scottish, because I practiced his voice the day beforehand.
honestly, I get that sometimes. I feel kind of fucking weird admitting it in front of other people, but sometimes I do just speak in Haybale's voice when I'm lying down.
Dude. If you think that's embarrassing, my shit's downright awful. Like, I talk in character. I do whole situations, like, acted out. I act out, like, a lot of, like, monologues that I do if I need to do something as, like, the Edge Wizard, or this or that. But, speaking
It helps. It does help.
It does. And speaking of characters and classes changing, a big thing was Kip was going to be a bard.
Yeah,
really?
that was a thing.
Yeah, that was a big
Yeah,
thing.
you got the initiate.
Yeah,
I
he
was
got
Bard Initiate for
he
a
got
moment.
Bard Initiate, and he was really going into it. And then this might be jumping up a foot, but I don't think we need to talk about too much. Basically, Bakara, what it was just a beautiful, lush, like solar punk city, very basic, like goblin mission. And this is when we met a wizard apprentice.
Oh no.
And I'm not gonna say the things that were said about this wizard apprentice in the stream because it might actually put us on a watch list. But you guys saw the profile picture of the apprentice wizard and you hated him so fucking much. I was like,
because of the encounter in the sewers.
I wanted to capitalize on it. I didn't want that hatred to go away. So that's where the idea of the clones came into play. That's where I first made that idea, was because you guys hated him so much. I thought
that was so fucking funny.
I thought you guys would really fucking lose it if you just saw another one.
I mean,
and then we hung him in a tree,
you were right.
and we scared the shit out of him.
Ymir showed him his dead clone's teeth. And that, keep in mind, this is the same K we have with us now. The one that we mentally tortured.
Bakara had a lot of fun NPCs that unfortunately probably won't be able to get back into for a long time. A lot of fun NPCs. The little, the Furbolg lady that was like super out there and weird.
I don't know, depending on really how things all end up being resolved, good or bad. If things turn good, I wouldn't mind having a session or two just wrapping back and having just some wrap up, like
it's possible.
We've got a month.
Reconciliation with some of the people.
That's if we get the good ending.
Yeah.
Now, if we get the good ending, I wouldn't mind going out of our way just to do like RP stuff, run back and
see what's
changed.
Hey.
Yeah.
Another thing that'd be good to check up on is another thing that we didn't stream at all was Autumnsburg. Autumnsburg was, I feel like
we have like a single episode of Autumnsburg.
We did not. We started in the middle of Leafvale.
Really?
We went back to Autumnsburg, but I wouldn't say it was the Autumnsburg arc. You know what I mean? Like it's not like when
we were like just leaving when that happened.
You guys.
Yeah, because we weren't streaming when we met like Monique and stuff.
Yeah, because the reason why we started
streamed the Edge Wizard.
Yeah, the reason why we started streaming was because of Leafvale. So when
we could put time in a bottle.
When we did Autumnsburg, basically the plot of Autumnsburg was, you went there, they were having a tournament, you guys got to participate in, there was a K fucking shit up, fucking with their guys, and then you guys killed the K, and then a weird bird-like creature that you guys maybe pinned down to be a druid took away the body in the middle of the night. And then we
still yet to see the Cartificer again.
Yep. Leafvale is the reason we started streaming, because we had probably still to this day like our top 5 sessions. It was a session of where it was the entire map of Leafvale, and they had to covertly go in there and not start like a whole thing. And we had a moment where a Mephit held onto a bomb. And I started playing the song, If I Could Put Time in a Bottle. And this was also where Ymir's whole Berserker Axe arc was at its strongest. And just
beat Abel to death because he got stung by a bee.
Yep.
Did I ever get stung by a bee? Did that even fucking happen? I don't think it ever did it?
Yes, it did.
That's what procted.
When?
I actually don't remember.
I don't think remember it was like that ever happening.
I think it was some shit like a Nat 1 or something. I think Hayvale hit him or some shit like that. I can't remember what it was.
It was one of the other Kankus that had Swarmkeeper.
Oh,
sure?
right.
I don't know.
Yeah, one of the other Swarm Keepers hit you with a bee.
That's what it was, yeah.
Actually,
I'm surprised that I remember that out of all people.
Yeah. But it was that session we were like, guys, we can't miss another good session like this. We need to record it. So that's when we started streaming. And from this point on, obviously, we know the story. All of this has been recorded by this point. But I want to use this time to really start talking about the behind the scenes, all of the things that we've done behind the scenes and all the jokes and where they all came from.
Dude, I should have asked if that Necromancer Kane was the one who, resurrected Dragomir.
He was. I'll just tell you outright, he was.
Ah,
Yeah, I mean, if he's the guy who resurrected Arnok, then I'm gonna assume that he was the guy who did that.
Yep. So, let's talk about the Edge Wizard.
Nah, you can't just do that, dude.
Speaking of class
It's not that easy.
one of the hardest intros I have seen for a character. I'm not even gonna lie.
Thank you.
It's fucking ridiculous.
It's
That's
up there
the
with Godric.
Edge.
You put your fucking all into that character.
That the man beyond the brink. So we found a TikTok. It was a complete joke. This TikTok is joking like, oh, how are we gonna explain tattoos to some of our kids someday? And it was like a bit.
Yeah, like
it was
the
like,
first ones.
yeah, and it was like, Dad, what's that tattoo mean? And the tattoo says Edge Wizard.
The Edge
Hold up on
Wizard. And
stream.
it was like, why are you a wizard?
Pull it up on stream.
I don't want to go through all that. I want
was
it to
gonna say that's a
remain in
lot.
anonymity. It's ours. It doesn't belong to anyone else.
We stole it, guys.
made
Who
that
made it.
man do it.
The Edge Wizard. So from that, we just started joking beyond belief to the point where we were like, "What if Kip had a warlock pact with the Edge Wizard?"
Honestly, we didn't even make that joke in particular. It was just like, what if the Edge Wizard is like, what if kobolds pray to this
Man,
guy
it
or
was
something?
just some
Yeah,
random
that's what it was.
folklore.
Because we were
dude.
just making fun of kobolds pretty much because kobolds are so fucking stupid and I love it.
Yeah. That was.
I just love their lack of reason.
So, what you'll notice throughout this entire campaign is me. You guys will say a joke, and I turn that joke.
Write that down, write that down, write that down.
Every time we've like jokingly done something, it's now an extremely important joke. Plot point.
Important.
Another
It's
character like
important.
that, the Jonkler.
Oh no!
We need to explain the
know,
origins of the
I
Jonkler.
frequently forget that came from a Fortnite creative map.
Yeah. It's so in my head every now and again, but I just immediately forget it out.
Dude, I fucking never forgot.
We played a hide and seek. Is it called the Jonkler or is it called the Joker?
It was the
It's
Joker.
It was
we
like
got chased
Jester
by
or
him and we were like,
something. It was
guys,
it was a
a
Jester.
jester.
Yeah, and it's this.
It was like evil jester or some stupid shit like that.
It's
Where did we
this
get
game,
the Jonkler from?
It's a
We were
meme.
running up the
It's that
stairs
Joker
and we just
reaction
started
image.
saying it.
It's that Joker reaction
Yeah,
image.
the
like
dumbass
live-
fucking
like live
Joker
Jonkler
like meme
memes.
that calls him the Jonkler.
No, guys, I thought that we found that after we made the joke.
Maybe.
I thought that we were like,
I
remember
stole
us-
it from that, and then Gavin was like, "Oh, that's funny."
Okay,
Yes.
I didn't know that you stole it from that. I just heard you say it once, like as we were being chased by it. I was like, oh, that's a really fucking funny name, and I started saying it.
Yeah, we were like the Jonkler. It's just
The
a
Joker is
stupid
coming. I just
Fortnite
remember running
game
up the stairs and be like, it's the Joker!
where you're stuck in a house and you have to run around and collect items and try to escape the house. We never beat it.
No,
Because it was broken.
Yeah.
we gotta beat it sometime, guys. Just these.
We have to go back.
Be careful when you say
guys.
shit like we gotta beat it sometimes, guys.
the Jonkler, we
I'm
joke.
just saying.
Yeah.
Next sidebar. Background
We
footage.
gotta beat it. We gotta
should
beat
play.
it.
Beating the Fortnite Jonker.
We gotta do it, boys.
So, when you guys
Next
talked
time
about
the
this,
Overdogs quit adventuring.
it was you guys first who started talking about, oh, look, what if we started fighting it? And then the first session that had ever happened, it was Ymir doing watch. And I described you heard bells in the distance.
It took me so long
It
to realize
took you guys
what
a
was happening.
minute. And I described a jester outfit, and I believe it was James who figured it out first.
Nah, he went.
Yeah,
I remember.
That's exactly what I fucking.
And the stat block
gasped 'cause
originally,
I realized, oh
the stat block originally, as was known by the group, as a chul.
Yep.
And that's when all that started. And I'll just tell you outright, I didn't have an idea of a Godflesh or his relation to the sadist and the I didn't even have any of that shit made by that point. How I even had a plot back then, I don't even fucking know. know, like it's baffling. So I feel like that's most of our bits and shit that we've done off screen. Besides, besides like Delilah, but all of that was just kind of, you know, that just happened. It was just kind of, you know.
It was, we ran into this separate little adventuring party with Goliath.
They turned out to be evil.
Delilah.
And it's been kind of a...
We still don't know shit about Ash.
Yeah.
The Tabaxi.
So, I guess I'll open the floor
did
to
find
you guys. James, I know you had a burning question for me.
What would have happened if we talked to the Tabaxi in the carriage?
Yeah. Okay. I'm curious. A long time ago, there was
no
a
way he
Tabaxi.
remembers that.
Where were you... What town were you guys going to?
I think
We
like
were on our way to Autumnsburg.
Yeah, we were on
This
our way
was
to
like
Autumnsburg.
the
we were
same.
just leaving Berkarga.
It was like a few nights or the night just before we met the Junkler.
Yeah, so I think...
And I've been doing like a shit ton of the talking, so I was just like, you know what? Somebody else say something.
Yeah,
Yep.
And then they just sat in silence.
Okay. So what I think of what have happened, what I thought you guys were gonna do is be like, hey, obviously I didn't have like a plot or something. I just said, because you guys were like, whoa, is there anybody nearby? And I was like, oh, there's someone coming in. And I was like, oh, you can ask them for directions or something about the local area or someone or something, or maybe I can work in a plot point here. And then you guys just let them go. Just drove past you and no one said it.
I can see your webcam, you're like, and he's going. And I was like, somebody say something. I've done like all the talking, and you're like, and he's going, and he's gone.
Yep.
I should work that Tabaxi back in. Oh, I should have said that Tabaxi was Firin.
Dude, I mean, it's not too late. That would be crazy as hell.
I think plot-wise that doesn't make any sense, but...
It doesn't.
They would have been like, have I seen you somewhere before?
So,
He's down with the Boundless.
You guys are those weirdos that
like,
stared at me while I
That
drove by.
kobold fucking ignored me! I hate him for it.
yeah,
I want him
anything-
dead.
anything you guys want to, like, pull the curtain on? If they're, like, again, as I said before, about 60% of this campaign's made up on the spot. So...
I'm kind of open to questions from the other players as well when it comes to that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I'm willing to shoot some questions out, but shoot some towards me real quick. See what I can conjure up.
I actually had a question for Ymir.
Yeah, go ahead.
Me?
Yeah. So I've heard through the grapevine, you and Tim have been getting it on.
What?
You and Tim, our druid.
What?
Dude, you're fucking frying him. Stop.
Okay.
No?
Actually...
Blushes, brushes beard to the side. Blushes,
you're
looks away,
weird.
pulls out a little comb and
you
starts
fucked
brushing
a
his beard.
puppet!
I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
you're
with
trying to fuck a puppet, man.
I'm gonna pivot over to Jesse then. Jesse, you got any questions for me? I feel like you, of all people, are probably the most intrigued of what the fuck I've managed to make out of my ass.
Yeah, first one was the Cursed Axe plan.
I don't know if it was. I think, so when I did the Dragomir, I know I wanted him to have some weird and fucked up axe, and I was like, I'm trying to think. And I remember at that point, I was like, because I played in a campaign where a Berserker Great Axe was a plot point, in a party. And
Such a good dynamic.
yeah, it's really good. A lot of people don't want to do it, but honestly, I'd recommend any DM to try.
I think
'cause
it's a fucking awesome way to really show you your own strength.
it really stirs up something in the party, and that's what happened in Leafvale. But I don't. The whole plot point, no. Dragomir being like attached to you, and I did eventually make Goremaker along the line when you freed up the curse.
I fucking love during the leaf veil at the end, when the idea of that the entire time when Ymir went, berserking out, that was the full-on, like, strength and wrath of Dragomir's spirit.
It was just, that was
such
so
a cool fucking concept. It makes you just rethink the entire idea of, like, the curse concept.
It's not just a curse of, this is evil. No, that is just...
It is hate.
That is when I really enjoyed D&D, because I was like, he took this item and added something fucking amazing to it.
Thank you.
I think that's one of the coolest things about D&D that you've really shown us, is you can just take the most simple things and just twist them and be like, oh yeah, this is fucking super cool now.
I think what people tend to do with D&D is they either oversimplify it or they overcomplicate it, and they can't really find the middle ground. I've played in both overcomplicated campaigns and oversimplified campaigns. Oversimplified campaigns, I feel like I have more fun in overcomplicated campaigns, because I think people really underestimate how fun a campaign that's just like, oh, the campaign starts in a tavern and you guys are all gonna do missions and blah 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 blah. Like, I don't
mind that for like a one shot.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all. And I've been in a campaign where it's like that. Same campaign where the Berserker Great Axe was a plot point. And I was in that campaign for a while, and I've been in complicated campaigns, but the problem with complicated campaigns is that you tend to overexert yourself, and you tend to write everything too much, and then at some point you're not DMing, you're just kind of talking at the players, and I've never really liked that.
That's kind of what I've seen, is a lot of the time it turns from, like, being, it's a game.
Yeah.
D&D is a game. I mean, it's a storytelling type thing, it's not just, go in and fucking kill people and you win, but...
I don't know, that's kind of Ymir.
No, people turn it from a game into a job.
Yeah.
And that's when it stops being fun for even the players, honestly, when it turns to...
Yeah. I definitely feel that pressure sometimes where it's like, oh god, I gotta write this. But it's something I'm learning to combat. But I think what people just don't know how to do is find the complicated in the simple, and the simple in the complicated. Because I'm a One Piece fan, and I wear that on my shoulder. And the thing about One Piece is that it is, on a surface level, a very simple story about complicated things. And that's what I strove to do, because I feel like that type of storytelling really makes engaging for anyone. So at a surface level, anybody can kind of consume these things, but anybody who is willing to go through the extra mile, like you said, Ymir, like, that really just was a cursed Great Axe plotline, but in reality, it is the manifested hatred of someone who died with so much regret, it was imprinted on the weapon he died fighting with. That is finding, again, Cursed Great Axe, I didn't make that weapon. That was just something D&D already made. But I found the complicated in the simple, because it's really easy, because how you make complicated things is just ask why. Like, why is this thing cursed? Then you've already created something way beyond they thought, And so your answer, Jesse, I'm just gonna tell you, no. I was like, I wanted something cool. And I remember when I gave it to you guys, I was like, oh, I don't know, because this can really start some friction. But it was exactly what the spice needed, and honestly, I don't regret it at all, even with its many casualties.
Exactly what the spice needed.
I like having friction
that's
in
a
the
testing
party.
from the guy who got fucking murdered by it. So.
He was like a single 5 foot closer than the enemy was.
Yeah, I remember we did.
I wasn't even 5 feet closer. I was just barely.
Yeah, barely.
So,
I really,
yeah, go ahead.
The kind of, it makes me think, like, I think one of the best plot, like, it's cool to have a plot where your party's working together against things, but D&D, I feel like one of the most interesting things is finding interactions between the players themselves and finding that kind of conflict between them.
Mm-hmm. Of course. And
you do that very well.
Yeah, because a lot of DMs sometimes get so over the head in their own story, they can kind of forget what that means for the players. And at some point, some players just kind of want to write a lore book, which is fine. But I don't think that type of storytelling really benefits the players at the end of the day, because you can write lore upon lore upon lore upon lore, but that doesn't exactly make a campaign memorable. It just makes it into a textbook, you know?
It's more about the live experience of it.
Yeah, because I believe in the
It's
player.
writing a story together. That's
And I
what makes
believe
D&D.
you should, as a DM, it is your job to make sure your character's stories are at least like a fourth of the campaign. At least. Like, you need to make it so their stories mean something, you know? And then off their... Because that's basically what I did is... I'll always say, I'm a lazy DM. My players give me backstories, and I just build the campaign off the backstories, and I don't need to make a single original thought. And then that's what I did, you know? James gave me the idea of Varmin and making the Underdark a plausible plot point. Jesse gave me the idea of the Frostwalker clan of some mysterious guy wiping out his clan, and Aaron gave me nothing. So I had a lot to work with.
Hey, Gavin, remember all those tribe names you sent me a long time ago? I know something insane. One of the tribe's names that you sent me, if I can find it here, you sent me a bunch of names, and one of them was Frostwalkers, but I originally was gonna name Ymir's, tribe name the Stormbringers.
Oh, shit. Yeah.
How fucking insane was that?
Yeah, no, it really changed around, and then the Frostwalkers would have been the enemy. Yeah, no.
Dang, what would Ymir be then?
He probably would have been Storm Herald still, because the electricity one was probably the only good one out of all of them.
The first subclass was actually Ancestral Guardians, but I didn't understand how the game fully worked, so I went over the Storm Herald.
Yeah.
Because Gavin was like AoE shit, and I was like, oh, that's cool. And then I went back because I was like, the whole ancestral thing that was coming up around that point, I thought felt like way better than just ice, because last name Frostwalker, but
Yeah.
I like the old ancestor idea more, so that's why I was like, hey,
Yeah,
I swap
especially
this.
because we were getting into the Frost Key and all of your ancestors and all that junk. But yeah, I love working with the Frostwalkers. Has been something that I've noticeably have had a lot of fun with, and having such a clear-cut timeline of a family lineage that I could probably write very easily is super gratifying. Like, you guys just met another one, Howl Frostwalker, in this session.
Yep, wrote his name down just a moment ago.
Yeah. So, we'll go back to James here. Anything you want to ask the class?
To be perfectly honest, I don't really have anything.
Yeah, that's fine. We'll go over something. I guess maybe we'll pull the veil on for you two. Was me and Aaron. We'll say it like this: when Kip died due to a ballista.
Yeah, he was shot with the ballista, I swear.
Yep,
That's, yeah.
that's what happened.
He was killed with the ballista, not, vice versa.
The Edge Wizard did it as a prank, but it didn't turn into a prank in the end.
Sure.
So, yeah, a big thing. Beyond the Brink, still banger of a session. So after that session ended, I had a very private talk with Aaron, talking about the future of Kip. Because I had a reason why he couldn't die. Because I've had the 4-quarter right. I had it in my mind. I just didn't know if it would have been important, and then it became important.
Very important.
But at that point, I was like, because I wasn't gonna force anything, and I was like, God, can I come up with 4 gods? And I was like, oh my God, you guys have assisted almost exactly the amount of
Kip
gods.
is created before he brought him back.
Yeah, you befriended Rathaniel, you revived Vendis, and then you assisted the slime god and his people, which I thought was nice. And then we did the 4-quarter right along with the Edge Wizard, and then you became some weird thing, and now you have some other 5th mysterious god talking to you. Which I wonder what that's all about. Ooh. Let's see. What can we go down the list here? Anybody got anything they want to ask the class?
Not really a question as much of a statement.
What's up?
It took me way too long to realize just where the sigil was fitting in Haybale's backstory. I'm really dense.
About what episode point would you say?
5 minutes ago.
It was in Morkaba. It was in Morkaba.
Copy. Yeah, no, Varmin was something I had a lot of fun with when you gave it to me. I really love... One of my favorite things to do with backstories is make it be like, everything you know is a lie! I'm very careful about doing that, because
so good.
I don't like to be too... That's why I tried to really find a middle line with Haybale. I didn't want to be like, oh, your whole life is a lie. Like, there still was some truth
you don't...
to it. You still technically worship Bastor, and you still did all this stuff, but the reason and why it was built was not for positive reasons. You don't
want to...
You were a grunt.
Like, go back and...
brain is shutting out so much trauma.
I think everybody's is here.
Yeah, we're all going through shit.
A lot of it is like, we're going through a lot of shit, but there's important matters at hand. That's kind of where we're at in that campaign.
The therapist in Rachnia's Crossing is gonna have money in his eyes when he sees us walking in.
He's gonna see our Steam library, and he's gonna...
Let me in your world.
I think a best way of asking questions, broadened out. We'll ask him by arc. Anybody got any question about the Leaf Veil arc? Anything that happened in there? Leaf Veil was truly a time. Anybody got anything crazy to ask?
What would have happened if Kip would have gone through with that method bomb? You think we would have died there?
Okay, remind me. Were you just gonna blow up the building?
No, I was gonna throw at
Yeah, there's a
I can't think of
fuckload
her
of
name.
dynamite.
Well, now
What
that
was her
we're...
name? The cloud, Nimba.
Yeah,
right?
at the time, Nimba was very against just going into combat with you guys, and if you guys just did all of a sudden decide to antagonize her, unless you guys committed to fighting her, which honestly I think you guys probably would have done, because but if you guys managed to talk her down, she would just been like, okay, fine, whatever. But if you guys did, she would have just fucking kicked your asses to kind of just prove a point. Kind of just to be like, with the context you have now, just being like, oh, you guys are out of your depth. You guys
Not
need to get stronger.
invincible.
Yeah, you guys need to get stronger.
That's one of the things I really realized with a bad hand is like, oh wow, we are mortal.
Yeah.
Yeah, seeing
stones
Haybale
and
blow
dirt.
his brains out in front of you probably gave you that impression, huh?
Yeah. Aaron, any questions about Leaf Veil? Any more questions, I guess I should say?
Ymir shot himself in the head with a gun. What if did he stone endurance?
Hit his brain.
Did I stone endurance gun damage?
Well, the point... Yeah, you can, but the point of that is that you guys would have died in one shot because you guys aren't fighting it off. You're just letting a bullet enter your brain. So, Jesse, any questions about the lovely Leaf Veil saga, since it was a very Ymir-heavy saga?
It was a very, very heavy saga.
I gotta remember, man.
Yeah, no.
There was a
There's a
lot,
lot.
going on in my brain during all that.
Yeah, it's what clicked you. It's what clicked you, man. It's what got you into it all. There was Frost Key, fucking Eric Frostwalker, the Yetis, Chadomir.
Radimir is just a fucking unit.
Yeah, was that when we learned about Anger? No, we learned about Angerbore in Morkaba. Did we? Yeah, I think it was the
Eric
exhibit.
Frostwalker was
forgot.
really cool to like just learn about.
Yeah, he was just kind of a
Yeah.
dude. I find the intrigue in a like a ancient beautiful clan, and there's just a guy, and Eric Frostwalker was the epitome of this like he's a guy.
We never found out how the Frost Key ended up there.
I believe it was explained a little bit. It was because when everybody was defecting, or not defecting, when they were chilling out, and Argamith was like, okay, we're gonna settle down, we're gonna start a new life of peace. He passed along the Frost Key, because the Frost Key was basically a sign of their Viking days, and he was like, we should probably put this to rest, so they sealed it within a Frost portal. And he basically just left it with Eric. What the
He's got the fucking harp.
And James, did you have any questions?
I'm trying to think.
Oh. Were those the gears turning?
Yeah, that was the stone grinding.
But if you don't have anything, if you want to talk about an arc that was almost all improv, Morkaba.
I love Morkaba!
I'm not kidding when you could pick out one little thing and I can just tell you, yup, I made it on the spot.
I know Dracula Flow was definitely not made on the spot.
No, that was
That's
planned.
I
planned.
actually,
That
I
was
did
the-
have a question for you, like overall on the game.
Yeah, go ahead, drop it into me.
Just a rough guess, like percentage-wise. How much of it was written while you're high?
I never did a lot of writing while I was high. I really didn't do a lot of that. I do a lot of thinking when I'm high, but I don't do a lot of writing when I'm high. It's usually when I come up with ideas. I don't really think I did that a lot with you guys, but as we know with the episode Morkaba Madness, which I was high and was a lot of improv, ideas happen on the spot, but I never really have gotten alleviated and then wrote something. I usually am clear mind, body, and soul.
All right.
Yes, I am not a hack, I promise. But yes, Morkaba. Morkaba, as you all know, was some of the hardest time I had writing an arc, and to this day I don't really know why. I just couldn't figure out a formula that I wanted. I could actually look at my notebook right now of I think it was 4 different plot lines that I scrapped. Originally, this was funny. Did I write this? Right. There was gonna be a joke that, aesthetically, Dracula was vampire, and he was a vampire, and he looked like a vampire, and he lived in a vampire mansion, but he was just gonna be a werewolf.
I remember you
mentioning
told me about
yeah,
that one.
That was so fucking funny.
I thought of that idea, and I was like, I kind of want to do it, but I also want I want a werewolf villain, so I didn't want to overexert the idea. There actually was going to be a whole sigil plotline besides the Undercity. Gosh, what all happened there? There was gonna be like another fire while you guys were sleeping.
Oh,
Dude!
There was gonna be like, I think there was gonna be I think that was actually one of the beta. Oh my god, yeah, I think that's where one of the beta ideas for the SKC started. Yeah, there was gonna be an Earth Genasi Kane. Yeah, because they were gonna send an assassin specialized to kill you guys, and Earth Genasis have a natural stealth ability. So yeah, that was a little bit of a little behind. See, that's the type of behind the scenes shit that happens. God, I had so many more plot lines, I just can't find them. Yeah. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, so this was gonna... another plot point that I talked about, is there was gonna be a point where Tim was actually gonna come to you guys. And he...
Oh my god, the lawyer.
And he was gonna ask you guys to be his lawyer in court. There was actually another point before I revealed before I thought about the idea of the unicorn being in that group of hate, that the unicorn was actually going to sue Kip, in Fae court. So it'd be like a fairy as a judge and shit like that. But this is
fucking alicorn judge.
So right here, among the herd is an Earth Genasi imbued king trying to pull the tome being the Bastor one. Attacking the group is a shadow assassin and 3 shadows. Yeah, that's basically it. Oh yeah, Tim wants the gang to exonerate him, and he'll give them info, and he'll tell them their next hit. Jonkler escaped through the sewers.
Yeah, the fucking toilet slime.
Yeah. Fun fact, yeah, also another thing, Zachariah, made up on the spot. That Zachariah shit was made up on the spot, and all of the relating plot points. I'm so glad that Zachariah thing was a happy accident, because I was able to actually explain so much through him. We got soul tokens back then, and then we figured out more about the situation with the church, and also how, what's her face was related to it. What's her name? I could have written that here. Was it Layla? Is that what it was?
I think so.
I think that might have been her sister. What the fuck is that page?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Zachariah's wife. Oh, Amelia. That's what it was.
Oh,
Amelia, yeah. All I could remember was Miss Brightside.
Well,
Yeah, Miss Brightside. That was her sister. Feerin.
Yeah.
Feerin are some, to this day, my most fleshed out notes. Everything on this page exactly happened how I wanted it to happen. But now I'm just yapping. Any other questions you got for me, guys?
did you plan for the Fearin character to show up during the whole rune fight?
I planned for Fearin being a character, I just didn't think immediately where I wanted to put him. And then I thought about Autodon Reach, and oh my god. I thought about Autodon Reach and like that, all of that plot, and I thought about how that would have worked perfectly, that he would have been imprisoned by Autodon Reach, and I was like, oh, it's perfect. And so I put him there, and... but in terms of the Ruin fight, I didn't do that. I did that on 2 reasons. One, because I knew he wouldn't be assisting in this war, he would be leaving, so he dipped. And that areas were like where the boats were, so he would obviously be in that area. And also because you were losing. And also because,
that went south really fast.
yeah, I mean, shit, it wasn't a fight that I intended to.
Oh, wherever you go.
And then, yeah, no, it was just a happy accident. But that segues, any questions about the Underdark saga, starting from, like, Fearin to Autobahn? And then, now, what does that
When
Was that
did you
mushroom
come
remember
up
chewing
with-
on Kip's
A
hand?
lot of questions at the same time. James first.
When did you come up with Kaiju Cornelius?
Really early in the game, dude. I came up with it when I wanted a team to fight back against Kip, and I thought it would have been so funny if one of them was just like, hi. Oh,
Dude, you remember how effective he was with them fucking Colonel shots when he was just a baby? He's gonna be shooting fucking missile-sized cobs.
artillery.
can you believe that I built up Cornelius being a bioweapon since Autogon Reach?
I do not believe that!
That is insane.
Yes. I just picture this like giant fucking piece of corn, man.
Yeah, you got it.
Because, yeah. And then
You know, I was
just walked
serious
up,
when
was
I
like,
said that you ate him. That's what I thought you did. I thought you actually fucking ate him.
No, he left him behind with the corn lady.
Oh.
And then I was like, the unicorn is still technically in that area.
Dude, I can't even lie. I thought that unicorn fucking died because the daughter came out and she was like, "You killed him." It's like,
Yeah, you met his genetically modified daughter.
that is crazy.
Jesse, what was your question?
Where were your original plans to put, the whole Chargers idea, if you had any? Instead of just like, oh, I know where these guys are gonna go.
I kind of right when you gave me the Chargers, I basically wrote them to be in the Underdark, working for Autodon Reach. That idea kind of hit the ground running as soon as I got it. I didn't really go through many iterations. I was like,
Yeah, that's what I was because I was guessing that, hey, I'm gonna make this, whole character be a zealot barbarian so he can be connected to a god. And I was like, he's probably gonna do something with like the edge or some god like that. So that's why I did that whole like god thing, and I was
DM
correct.
Food. That's DM food, man. That's how you feed him. Yeah, when you gave that to me, I was like, yeah, no, I definitely know where I want to take this. And I will say it many times, I did not intend for the ruined shit to get explained right away. It's just
I
you
was not
gave
expecting any of that shit.
Gave him a sending scroll, and that really changed the whole fucking thing. And where it would have gone, I'll just say it right now, I don't know where that would have all went without the sending scroll. I don't know.
Yeah, man, you should put the Chargers backstory in the Ymir secret info area.
Yeah, I definitely will do that. But I will just tell you outright, the Chargers are not done in the story. They're not done. I still have a lot planned for them.
Yeah, we gotta see the other cool things I put in.
Yeah, dude. I definitely put that into consideration. But I basically kind of, how I wrote the Chargers being a part of this situation specifically, is they kind of saw it as like, oh god, these fucking squabbling, dumbass fucking dwarves and elves will just do this for a quick paycheck. And then it turned into a whole other thing, and obviously Ruin was being very quiet about what this all was. So he didn't want to overexert his forces because he kind of knew that some of them were likely to die. So he just brought people he didn't think were like easily killed, and that's why he didn't bring dogs down, because that just would have been a little too much.
I rewrote the Chargers backstory several times, like I think 6 times.
Damn.
One of my original ideas for it is that the two like sides, the ones that I stated as, the smart and the brawn, the intelligence and the strength, they were gonna be a bit like split down the middle between 2 leaders, and they were gonna split off. They split off at some point. Ymir obviously was with the whole Rune character, and there's gonna be a whole other character with intelligence branch.
That's pretty cool.
And the intelligence branch was actually I was gonna message you then to put them in the Underdark area, so that kind of happened. And then the Brawn side was gonna go down there because of like a whole a war situation happening, which also kind of happened. So
Yeah. Read a lot of your mind there.
there was gonna be a whole civil war that I wanted to plan out.
That would be cool. And then it did kind of happen.
Kinda, yeah.
It kind of played itself out.
Yeah, no, dude, we were really on the same page there. No, I really liked the Chargers, and I liked where they came from and what we all came up with them. So
You know, the Rune character, I don't know if I told you guys, but he was going to be my backup character if Ymir ever perished. He was going to be Ymir's teacher and where he got his wrath from.
Huh.
Yeah, very
Damn.
very interesting fact, and it would have been very interesting to see that whole.
I remember. We had a little joke with, shot glass. And I was talking with James. Remember the other day, James, we were talking, we were like, if hay bale dies, what if shot glass just steps in it? It's just hay bale exactly, but an alcoholic.
I've got a personality in mind for shot glass. If I need to talk to you about that, Gavin.
He just walks in, he's like, oh shit, whatever that guy.
Don't be afraid to write me something; it'll motivate me to do it. And Aaron, did you have a question for me when we were all chattering?
Oh yeah, does that mushroom remember biting my hand?
Inoki or?
Yeah. Inoki's the one that like chewed on my hand for a solid moment.
Well, probably. He just doesn't care. He just kind of thinks you guys have buried the hatchet. He doesn't give a fuck.
I mean, it didn't hurt. I remember. It didn't hurt. It just felt weird.
It was just.
It was literally just gums, almost.
Yeah, mushroom squishy. Yeah, I think that's kind of.
Oh my god, I forgot I did this.
Oh.
In my area where I keep my notes, I wrote down everything. The last time I used this was back in February, it says, of 2024, where I wrote down every single detail and ability that Ymir had in like an entire fucking like Google Docs note page on my phone.
Yeah, Katie loves doing that.
Yeah, I just like saying shit here, have it all in like one spot.
But now that we've kind of done processing all the stuff through the arcs, I just want to take a moment to really just kind of suck each other's dicks real quick and really praise everything that we've done so far. Why?
Dude, you're so weird. Stop.
I accidentally licked my pop filter when I did that. That was nasty.
I think
It was so cold.
I want to start with Kip here, and I just want to say that Kip is just definitely the realest overdog.
Oh?
Just literally a guy. It takes everything in stride. It's just like, Edge Wizard, I guess we're in this for the long haul.
Yeah, dude, no. This guy was just born in some shit, and he's just been walking through it his entire life. That's pretty much just been his whole thing. He's just been putting up with shit for the longest time. He's used to this.
I'm not kidding, is that if there's one thing, if making an evil god see the error of their ways and slightly become more human was a crime, I would have a life sentence. That is my favorite thing to write, and that is what I've been doing with the Edge Wizard. It is slowly, because, at the beginning he was like, I am a god, I am a god.
Yeah, you're really edging him into it.
I own you, you little bitch. Yeah. I own you. And then, like, when he died, he's like,
Sorry to get.
Sorry. I lied.
Yeah, because he kind of had that, like, player mindset of being like, oh, you can't die, you're too important. And then you just died. No explanation, no grandeur, no big moment, you just died.
Big fighter. Yeah, it wasn't even at somebody else's hand, it was at my own hand.
You just died. And at that moment he realized, man, I really did just kind of ruin your life, huh? Because it really wasn't like just you dying, it was realized that he cursed you.
Yeah.
He cursed you to no afterlife.
Oh.
And
yeah, he did do that.
he put you in shit that you had no idea was happening. of you being related, your soul being belonging to someone else, or your body, sorry, not soul, your body belonging to someone else, and just a lot of shit. And yeah, no, I think that's what I just love about Kip, is that I really feel like I can kind of throw whatever at Kip, because I know at the end of the day he'll be like, all right. just
See, that's what I'm saying, man. I'm playing into that entirely. Like, I would not be playing into it like that if he was not a kobold.
This just makes it a little funnier.
No, it makes so much sense, because kobolds are just... They just aren't all there.
And so just having one kobold being just like, alright.
Just this little 3-foot-tall fucking gremlin just rolling with the punches that life is giving him.
Yeah, and unfortunately he keeps getting them.
Dude, no, seriously.
Something
The moment that fucking, like, the moment that they're in was set on fire, his life became hell.
Like, because it's funny because not only does the story back this up, but your fucking dice rolls do too. You roll shit all of the time, and you have no choice but just to be like, well, I guess this is my life.
Like, earlier when I died, I was just like, I'll go get my food. Because my food was ready for a while. I was like, oh, I'm so into this fight, and then I rolled it, and I was like, oh, I'm dying. I'll get my food now.
Maybe that's the last time I'll do Will-O-Wisps in this campaign. I think I could.
What do you mean, maybe?
Final boss,
They're
a
gonna
single
be the end
Will-O-Wisp.
boss.
Just boosted health.
200 HP Will-O-Wisp.
It's gonna have to be more than that at the end of the fucking campaign.
Give
dog,
that
with
shit
Ymir.
400.
I was gonna say, Ymir will kill that thing in one turn.
Holy fuck. Brutal critical, good damn. But yeah.
I'm not done yet.
Is there anybody who wants to ask me questions about the so deep and illustrious character of Kip Ricks?
Yo, what would Kip have to do to get a second bonus
I'm
action?
excited to read his backstory after the campaign. But that's gonna be a
It's
banger.
not much, man. Honestly,
I think you can read it now.
Yeah.
There's no spoilers.
I'm excited to learn about the giant hand.
Yeah, that. Big hand. No one Kip
The
was
local
dead.
big hand.
Yeah, that wasn't in his backstory. I'll tell you that fucking much. I just threw that shit in.
Oh, yeah, no. His back. No, I'm not kidding. He's just.
Anything that has anything to do with gods, not in his backstory. He didn't write anything like that.
He was not a religious person whatsoever.
Kip was just a guy.
He was a dude. He was a street rat.
I will tell you everything about his background, alright?
Go ahead.
He stole shit.
Running out of stuff.
He's huh?
You're already running out of stuff.
Yep. He was very much a loner prior to all this. Lived off on his own. He literally, I'm not even joking. This guy lived in a hole in the ground.
Oh no!
That's actual Kip lore. He just dug himself a den to live in by himself with all his little things in there.
Yeah, if I remember the wording of the backstory correctly, it was like, for most people it would look like shit, but since he's a 3-foot kobold, it was lovely.
Yeah,
I really do wonder
since
the
moving out on his own,
difference.
he's been staying in the woods, having dug himself a den to live in. Surprisingly roomy. Granted, he's 3 feet tall. The standards for roomy may be a bit skewed. The entrance is just I forgot I made that joke! The entrance is just a hole, hidden by bricks and rubble. Was it the Saddam Hussein?
Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Well, wow. Oh, Kip. The ever so deep and important character you are.
Not the most secure place in the world to store all his valuables.
Oh my god, dude.
No, his parents weren't around, so he was just pretty much spending his time fending for himself.
What are all the Overdogs' parents' situations right now?
Not great. Most of them
Nope.
Amirs are dead.
I really do wonder the difference between all of our backstories and what we thought of.
The
Yeah.
thing is,
This is.
Kip doesn't even know where his parents are at this point.
I was gonna talk about this.
He just disappeared. They don't know where he went.
The different types of backstories that you guys gave me is Kip gave me like truly just a life story, while Ymir gave me like a whole like literally like a book. Like literally like he looked upon the ashes of his family, like shit like that. And I'm not kidding when Hay Bale's backstory is more of describing a setting than it is like a backstory. Most of it is describing Kavrana and like his situation in the jungle up above. Hay Bale was another one of those where it was like I had a lot of room to work with. Because I basically had Varmin, which we didn't even name right away.
I remember when you were telling us to like write our characters, you're like, yeah, leave a lot of open end, leave a lot of things for me to fill in. And I was like, okay, fill it all in.
I'll leave the page a blank.
Evan, I didn't put anything for, Ymir's mom's situation because I wanted you to put some random shit in there for that.
Yeah, no, I have some stuff for Ymir's mom. I have a couple things.
Yeah, I left that literally blank as possible to see what you could come up with.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I think that's,
Your mom's actually Quartz, I'm sorry.
You know, this whole campaign's actually like a metaphor for Ymir's transition. Her true self.
do you remember when she ate the wild magic thing that everybody perceived her as a woman?
That was the happiest she's ever been.
I hold the beard out of obligation.
Guys, you can't do this. My backstory's so cool. You can't. He's so masculine and badass. You can't, guys. Ymir's so cool. Honestly, this is more about Argmith than anything else, but it's so cool.
Man, I love shot glass.
So I think that's kind of all of the behind the scenes of Kip. I don't really know if I'm missing anything.
Hey, your stream music's doing the thing again.
God damn it.
I have to say, one of the characters that I'm like oddly like super invested in is Kane.
Oh yeah, I probably should.
I do like hearing stuff
really
about Kane.
like Kane.
Yeah, he's a very intriguing character.
Yeah, I'll real quick talk about Kane real quick before we get to Hay Bale and Ymir. Kane was, again, that all happened because of circumstance. You guys could have killed that motherfucker whenever you wanted to.
I was originally going to throw a javelin into his skull, but then I was like, wait a minute. Information.
Yeah, you guys kept him
That's
around.
the only reason he's alive.
Yeah.
And, then
I'm the only reason he's alive.
Yeah, I started to really grow onto the idea of him being the defector of a bunch of people that look exactly like him. And
I know that burnt toast is like if you smell burnt toast, you're having a stroke. Is there something about just randomly tasting cotton candy? Because my mouth just started tasting like cotton candy. Am I dying?
No idea.
so much lore.
Might be the aftertaste.
Oh, fucked up.
Of chicken?
Of a stroke, I think.
Yummy.
Tastes like.
Oh my god. But Kane was very much spur of the moment, and then we were using the apprentice wizard stat block for the longest time. And then we had a tournament, a bracket tournament of what his subclass would be.
I might be sick.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and I wanted
Well, because it says even like a cold flu or whatever can add more glucose in your saliva, make it sweeter.
I will say that I very much kind of based where his personality was going depending on
we
what
did to him.
subclass he'd get. In divination, I just kind of picture him being a little bit more personable and more down to earth, kind of more
I
understanding.
really like him having like. I think that the whole thing you said earlier with like he doesn't have a soul.
Yeah.
Like he picked up on that. I think that is so fucking interesting as a concept for somebody with divination magic. You know, changing the future, not knowing that if he has a future.
Yeah.
If he has something after all that, you know.
Yeah.
And
it's very interesting.
such a good mix of class and story.
I'm surprised he decided to stay with us.
Honestly, it was just because he had nowhere to
I was gonna
go.
say he has no better options.
Yeah, but
It's
I
either
remember
that or start
only
killing innocent people.
So many people hate him because a bunch of people look like him and they committed fucking atrocities.
I
we
think one of the
untied
big
him
things.
during the fucking cave fight.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
It was an
We were in the-
when you guys started to really connect with him.
Yeah, and then we brought him along for that cave fight with the 1K, and we were just like, okay, we could actually use this guy's help.
The first time you guys really began to trust him is when Autumnsburg was kind of having like I think it was with like the tournament night, and they were like having sort of like a celebration type thing. And you guys were like, Kane was just kind of dicking around with his new spell book. And you guys were just kind of like, you know what, we'll just leave him there. And if he runs away, then I guess that's that. But no, he stayed, and you guys decided to keep him.
Keep him.
Yeah.
My pet wizard.
Who's my good little white boy?
My government.
You are, yes you are. I hand him a scroll.
My governmentally assigned white boy.
Fix all of Haybale's nat ones, or else.
You know, like the old like trope of people like patting their dog on the head with a newspaper whenever they like peed on the carpet or whatever. We just take a scroll out of his hand and like just bat him over the head with it.
No, stop rolling bad.
Bad divination, bad.
Any questions about Kane? That's one that has a lot of stuff.
Much weight behind it.
I don't even really know where to start with him. He's kind of an open book.
Yeah, there's a lot to him.
I guess I've kind of liked the whole Kip getting along with him
Yeah.
after a while, because there's just this weird thing of Kip seeing that Kane's in this place of, wow, there's nothing. There's nothing for me. I'm so fucked. So many people hate me. Well, Kip was kind of in that place, and he saw a lot of that in Kane.
Yeah. They had,
So that's why he kind of really took a liking to him.
they had some parallels. They had ways of
Mhm.
their stories really coming together, and I feel like everybody can kind of align themselves with Kane. Kind of Ymir a lot
To
of
an
them because
extent.
they're both survivors. Haybale and him because they come from a completely different world and are forced to brave this new one. Like Kane is a way of kind of paralleling the party.
Connecting.
That's why
He's
you
really
can-
the glue.
Yeah, you can really kind of put Kane in any social situation with the OVERDOGS, and you can really kind of get something out of it. I feel like a lot of roleplay moments have really... I think one of the most underrated roleplay moments is Ymir and Kane. Because it's really just this, like, older brother figure, and just...
I like that. I've never
Yeah.
thought of it like that.
I've always thought about it like that, of just this older brother figure and this kid who really doesn't know what's going on in the world. And Ymir just being like, hey, you just gotta be tough, man. You gotta have some thick skin, you know? You just gotta...
I just pictured Ymir as an uncle.
did, but did shit happens, no.
That's what I was saying during the fucking Bad Hand episode. You can hear me really stumble with my words because I'm like, how the fuck am I roleplaying this character?
Yeah, how do
What
you,
the fuck would this guy
how
do?
would Ymir Frostwalker process this tragedy? It's not just like, because you can't blame it on anyone. You can't be like, oh, get revenge, because you can't really even blame the gambler. You know, like, that's the shittiest thing about it. Like, it really is just death. It is death at its most potent. Random, with no meaning behind it. Like, it's just...
We've had a couple of those, huh?
Yeah.
Like Hip and the Ballista and Hay Bale and the gun.
Yeah, like, it's... Sometimes death just happens. And that's something that was, like, had to grapple with, because our first death of the campaign wasn't, like, a momentous villain. It
like a
was
big
just
fight or
happened.
anything, it just happened.
It just happened.
And that's what really tied me down to D&D, is it's just like, holy shit. Like I said earlier, it's
Backhand
just,
is
oh
where
my
I
god,
really
we're mortal.
realized how I wanted to play Hay Bale too.
I think we all kind of had that moment. A moment that genuinely almost brought me to tears was Hay Bale looking to, I believe it was Ymir, and saying, I don't know what I'm doing. Like, it fucking killed me. It fucking destroyed me, because this poor little autistic
Click.
kid just doesn't
Click.
know.
Click.
Oh, I remember when you said that,
Yeah.
like, put it churning in my tummy. I was gonna throw up.
Gavin's even just stopped and talked about that one, like, while I was at his house. He had to, like, talk about that with, I think it was Roman was there, and you just went over that whole bit talking about, like, and Hay Bale was sitting there just listening to the click of his gun, and then you started feeling sick from that shit again, and you walked off.
It was disgusting in the most beautiful way possible. Like,
If you go back to that
God.
episode, you can. I say something really loud, and that's why I actually fucking I did cry a bit. That fucking broke me really bad.
God, it was really it was such a fucking moment.
It was so fucking sad.
This is the same campaign where the Jonklers are main villain, like, like the Goon Wizard, and we're crying. Like, I
had so much shit to think about during all that.
Like, it was as real death as possible, because you're just, like, trying to rationalize it, but unfortunately, there's nothing you can do to pin it at.
Yeah, that really just...
I want to rewatch it, but I also really don't want to rewatch it.
Hay Bale's had
Isn't
a
that
lot of
crazy?
struggle with coming to terms that he's not dead.
Yeah. Like, and it's just the quiet realization that his afterlife is a little bit denied to him because he was a false follower. Like, and eventually Bastor accepting him kind of out of, you know, obligation. Like, it was truly, like, a defining moment for the Overdogs. I think the way I could put it is the Chapel of Frost episode was the episode the Overdogs became a team, but a bad hand is the episode that became a family. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that was the episode
that's a
where it
good
was
way of
just
putting
like it's that one meme
This-
where it's like
yeah.
it's that one meme where it's like killing myself in front of these people to irreparably change their lives forever.
That's
Yeah,
Hay
the one
Bale.
tweet where it's
That's
like,
Hay
you see
Bale.
the four of us at the pool, what are you doing? And the person's like, killing myself in front of you to change the trajectory of your lives forever.
Like, it's that, like, you guys are bounded together no matter what. Like, you guys cannot separate at this
Do
point.
we have a reason why we stuck in a group instead of just being like,
We
oh, this
never did
contract's
put
gone?
lore behind how we all met and everything.
Yeah, I know we talked about doing an episode 0 sometimes, but I can never rationalize my brain around it. Maybe I'll make one of you DM that episode.
It's hard
I
to
don't
think about.
How are we gonna DM that if we have to...
know. Because at that point, you guys knew as much as I knew. Like, it was literally like making that shit up on the spot. Like,
Yeah.
also another important thing for this campaign. We'll get to the other stuff in just a sec. But another thing about this campaign is I wrote down to myself. I was like, who do I want my main villains to be? And I looked through the list because I've done aberrations, I've done dragons, you know, I've done all this shit. But one I never really got to do was giants, and that's kind of where the sigil was found. Even though they kind of quickly stopped becoming about the giants. It was a lot of
Instead turned into a bunch of white boys.
Yeah, just a bunch of white boy USAs, you know.
Hey, dude, we don't know. K-Prime could be a giant.
Wouldn't that be the shit? Okay. Who are we on?
Giant white boy.
Huh?
We're talking about
I
you
think,
here.
I don't know.
Okay.
I think we were going to A-Bale because we brought up the
The bad end.
that kind of thing. I
I'm
feel like that's
never
a good
gonna
segue
get a
into
bad
it.
hand out of my fucking brain.
Dude, I wanted to come out and say something like that had James fucked up, dude. That had him fucked up.
Yeah, so going over to proper Haybale. Haybale is a character that I feel kind of almost just negated a lot of the tenseness in the party, which was great. Like, because I feel like with certain dynamics, I think if Haybale was any different type of character, there probably would have been a lot more friction in the party. But it really was just like, you know, Haybale was literally just like, hey, let's be friends. I got bees. And
I got bees. Do you want to talk about trucks?
yeah,
No, it's true.
ever heard of trends?
Guys,
these giant metal boxes that run on these tracks.
guys,
Roblox is so cool.
Choo-choo. Yeah, Haybale is a character.
Oh my
where-
God. It's even better because now he actually is kind of autistic about shit, and it's guns.
The American way.
It's like,
He's not
you know
racist.
You ever heard of the Browning?
What in the name of John Moses Browning is this?
But Haybale's a character where I feel like that was just like an iconic character out of the get-go. Like that was already like this character is like I could see the potential in just the way he was designed. This bird guy.
His name's fucking
His
Haybale, for
name's
God's sakes.
Haybale. That's what
Yeah,
I also
I
love
remember
about this.
when we were making characters and I heard him name his character Haybale. I was like, what the fuck? What?
I
But
thought
now, I could not picture it being anything else. It makes so
that
much
name
sense.
is bounded to him. I pray this bird does not transition. That one's gonna be hard to do.
Haybale at.
Wow, wow, wow. We're just gang of fucking good.
Gay Bale. Can we?
I don't know, man.
We've
I
never
think
said gay
the
Bale
big
before.
next thing that needs to happen. We need to see some romance in this campaign soon, bro.
This game you're fucking good.
It's kind of hard when we have a month before the sigil attacks.
All the more reason to break down and give in.
Oh.
Dude, you are bound to the edge!
So, Jim, if you could, lift the light on our little Kenku boy. What was the thought processes of running this type of character for a whole campaign?
Like I said, starting out, he was gonna be a lot more edgy. But I realized
Okay.
quickly, oh my god, I have an idea. He's autistic now.
Oh my god,
'Cause-
James.
Hmm?
It's literally the, like, the cool and mysterious are gay and autistic. That's literally
Red
what
pill or
happened to
blue
him.
pill,
He
motherfucker.
transitioned to gay and autistic.
God, okay, I have to ask you. What do you mean he was gonna be edgy? Did you have ideas for that? Like, what kind of
Oh my
things
God,
were
yes.
you meaning by that? I need to know.
Well, I mean, you remember how he started out dual-wielding sickles.
Ah,
I got
Puss in Boots.
Yeah.
That kind of.
All right.
You're telling me in another universe I could have had Hey Bale mid-initiative being like, I just love the smell of fear.
Hispanic Bale.
Hey James, I got a question.
Yeah?
Was Hay Bale gonna wear a hood like all the time, covering his face?
Not covering his face, but just over his head, yeah.
Oh my god, I see.
Ymir would be eyeing your ass like a fucking hawk.
Yeah,
Yeah, but now look at him, he's got a flower crown! He went from death to fucking Princess Browning.
Princess Kalashnikov.
evolution of Hay Bale is truly astounding. Holy
I think one of the big
fuck.
things that made me realize how I wanted to play him was I was just like, this guy's been... He has had no contact with real people.
He doesn't know how to be dark and mysterious.
That's such a good.
Is he part Fae?
What?
So good. I love it because, like you said, he hasn't had contact with people. That's why he's just so bad at it. But like, he's so. Everybody can tell. To the point that it turns around to being super sweet.
It's
It's
so
so goddamn cute.
it's so wrong. It loops right back around. to
Yeah,
being
it
charming.
fucking came out of nowhere during the bad hand. That's where it just, like, what?
Yeah, like that's when I feel like that's kind of when the Hay Bale's personality was full laid out on the floor of just being like, oh, there's no secret to this. He's just like this. This is just a person, and there's not a big scale reason. The reason
I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, the reason why Ymir is, so fucking big and strong is because he's in a mercenary company. Wah, the fucking Kip, he's a street rat. But Hay Bale, he's just he just tries his
He's
best.
just here because he likes his friends.
Yeah,
It's
like
just like this, and he doesn't know why.
he just tries his best. Like, God, what else could you give us about our lovely bird friend? Any thoughts you had about him throughout the campaign?
I was a little curious on Hay Bale's overall thoughts when Kip did the whole thing of blackjack for his soul.
Well, it's not really like Hay Bale could have too many thoughts about it, because at that time, when he died,
He was more focused on, oh my god,
he was dead and
dead
his
and there
soul
was
was being
nothing.
repeatedly ripped apart and mashed together as you guys gambled over him. And since it was nothing but darkness, he thought that he didn't have an afterlife.
Yeah, it's depressing.
So he thought that there was nothing after. So he was just kind of fucking... he was very out of it during the first few days of Morkaba.
God damn. Yeah, no, Morgaba and then the fucking love oracle, and that really threw a wrench in some things. Oh my god. But yeah, no. Any final thoughts about our lovely bird friend?
Hey Bill.
A ball. Hey bro.
That's one of the things that kind of did catch me off guard was with Kip's death, well, the first one. Okay. with the ballista.
Yeah. The ballista incident.
Hay Bale, the immediate hug from Hay Bale.
Oh.
Right? That's like the most physical sort of appreciation we've seen out of the Overdogs.
Yeah. I feel like Beyond the Brink was truly just a lot of character development. And another character who had a lot of character development in that episode, Ymir!
Oh boy, Ymir.
Jesse, I would like you to tell us a bit about how it's been playing your lovely Grog Strong job.
The idea did not start with Grog. I did not know who that man was until I
You start with Kratos.
And then I showed you.
I mean,
Fuck.
honestly, they're both just kind of...
Yeah, until I found out that, hey, my favorite voice actor plays this character. Oh,
Travis
what a
Willingham.
fucking coincidence.
Oh my god.
For emotion-wise with Ymir, you might have picked up on it, but I have shown sometimes every now and again he'll speak out if one of the party members are hurt, especially Kane.
Yeah.
During one of the times, the most seaful times was when Kip did the whole Eldritch Blast thing on Kane. He ran over and started fucking pushing him against the wall and yelling at him.
Yeah, underrated.
With the whole, where the Edge basically was like, man, don't be saying that shit.
The Edge said, no, fuck off.
Because originally I was actually planning to roll an attack roll on Kip immediately. Like, with a fucking weapon. Because Ymir would be like, oh, that's a fucking traitor.
Yeah, I suppose that really is kind of one of the things with us not having that session 0 behind us, is we really don't know how long these people have really known each other. I feel like it is not a long time.
I figured it was like the same day. Like, I don't think they were together as a group. I think it was literally just like, oh hey, a bounty that says probably more than 3 people. Well,
Complete and utter circumstance.
yeah, like it was like, oh, we're 3 people,
Kip's just eager for money. Ymir is just in need of a job, and Haybale's just in need of adventure.
I don't know if you guys, you probably noticed, but
Haybale was just asking somebody to read the poster for him.
I've developed Ymir slowly from being like very self-centered to actually giving a shit about the people he's been with.
Yeah, and
I've seen that.
It paid.
You can see it.
It paid
Especially with, again, Beyond the Break.
Yep.
There is one time early on, but that was still when I was learning the game, where he did stop fighting someone to go revive Haybale.
Yeah.
But even then, you could chalk that up to, like,
Birdman good at shooting
guy
people
can be
from
killing
very
more
far away.
I think that was a very much strong, like, genuinely.
Like, this one is useful to me.
As much as I like, Beyond the Brink will always probably be my favorite session ever. The moment inside it, like, I think my favorite moment from the session is Ymir realizing he can't do everything by
do the
himself.
fight alone.
Like, of him
With
breaking
Firen coming in and
Selexog.
Selexog.
Like,
Yep.
yeah, summoning in the armor piece. Genuinely, I like forgot that Ymir was holding it, and it I
can tell it threw you for a loop, man.
Like, yeah, I wasn't expecting it for Ymir, Like, I expect summons from everybody else but Ymir, because I just believe because it's like...
I mean...
Because it's crazy, because it's
methods.
like... the thing is that at some point you start to kind of believe it. You're kind of like, yeah, man, he really doesn't need the help.
Especially when it comes to Ymir.
Ymir is a god. I say it all the time. This guy is a fucking monster when it comes to combat.
Monster, and so you really start to believe, like, maybe we really are just like holding him back. But it was in that moment, it was just like, it's a team effort. You gotta do what you gotta do. It's so good. So good.
I feel like a lot of moving from doing like video games all the time and shit to doing D&D
it's very different.
It's a huge difference, because you have to think not just, oh, this is the meta. This is how you're supposed to play the game, My teammate goes down, I gotta revive him. No, it's
just
story.
A moment like that, just for the it was a little funny back then, and it's funny now, of just when you didn't, like, you just changed Ymir's subclass and you didn't tell me, and I was like, hey, dude.
I didn't. You could do it with every level, it said, so I was like, oh, sure. Because with the Stormcaller, it says you can change out the element every level, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, but,
And I didn't think nothing of it.
Yeah, that's the funny thing about D&D, because it's just like, and you know, Baldur's Gate or something, it's just like, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna completely respect my character just because I don't like them. But in D&D, we've built up the idea of
story.
The reason why Ymir is a Frostwalker is because he's got this cold ability and all this other shit and all this other nonsense. And so it's just so funny just
it's
to
so
kind of
silly.
make that transition of like how how you have to look at it's like
Yeah, I didn't think of it much because
yeah.
I was like, this is video game.
And honestly,
Well, yeah,
this is game.
like you said before, like you've played a lot of role-playing games and stuff and that kind of thing, so you have the experience with like working with classes and characters.
Yeah.
But
and that's
then
the thing.
you see this sort of
That's-
situation where it's, you know, it's not just a game; it's a story.
That's also a big thing about RPGs is usually the main character does not matter. Like,
Doesn't matter.
Like,
No.
usually it's literally just you're a guy and look at all these cool and interesting characters around you.
Like,
that
if
can
you-
fuck.
Even if you if you look at our character sheets and look at their stats and see the differences, like, look how I built Ymir, like, with just strength, dex, con, intelligence, wisdom, charisma. I did not think a single time how that would affect roleplay.
Yup.
I just did it because of the stats.
You wanted to play a strong.
Where you guys, you thought more of, like, the roleplay instead of the stats. Like, I mean, hey, Bale, he has no reason to have +1 to charisma. Why didn't he put that in the Constitution? Or even strength?
He has plus
There it
one
is,
charisma
Jesse.
because he's so fucking autistic.
I know, but-
again, it's just the charm.
That's why I really went with Kip. I wanted Kip to be this sort of like.
City slicker.
I mean, the exact
Originally,
reason...
he was gonna be like super slick as shit, but now it's just like he's just rolling with shit. His charisma comes purely from just being able to put up with other people's shit.
just earnest.
I changed so much of my proficiencies with skills because I was looking at your guys' skill proficiencies. I was like, oh, he has this, I don't need that.
Yeah, I'll say that is not a bad idea. I don't honestly. There's sometimes where power gaming is a tiny bit effective in D&D and maximizing like what your party can do, because it also works for roleplay moments. Because then you can be like, oh, we can't do this, but you can. So everybody can
I mean,
have
shit,
their
like-
moment.
Look at
I
it this
took out
way.
intimidation because Hay Bale had intimidation proficiency.
But like, no, think about it this way. Ymir on the team is the only person that has a plus to strength, including Kane.
I don't think anyone.
And
can
con.
do that.
Oh,
I
no,
mean,
Kane's
I'm not surprised
gone.
that Kane doesn't have strength.
Yeah, but I'm saying like just out of 4 people, he's the only one that has any plus to his strength.
I don't think Tim or Firin have strength either.
Exactly. See? Ymir is just the fucking strong man.
I gotta start throwing more strength saving throws at you guys.
No.
Yeah, that's
No,
one
it's
thing I've
alright.
noticed.
Do it.
is
I'll shoot them.
My constitution.
Oh,
is strength
Gavin,
is
action
lacking
surge,
so bad.
haste. Here it comes. Old monster twin spell.
Yeah, but we have a Ymir.
Road had to gulp
But
3 times for that one.
To put things back on the track, recently, how have you felt playing Ymir? Especially because a lot of shit just keeps happening to Ymir.
Yeah, man.
He just keeps.
He just had a dream of.
There's been a lot of
dying.
thinking with the character. There's been days where I'm like, dude, I can't. I just don't know how to like roleplay this character anymore. But then I go into a session like, oh, I know how to do this again.
It's all natural.
Or I'll just get, bored of the character, and then you throw some shit at me, and I'm like, holy fuck, this is cool as shit.
Yeah,
I love this guy.
I don't try to, I don't try to leave anybody out. I try to make sure everybody's receiving something quick. I mean, almost everybody got something in this last few sessions.
I think it's super cool that there's some shit like you can just hit us with something and everybody goes silent.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like you can hit us with some information where it's like
When the edge shows up.
It's just shit gets so real.
Yeah. And it's in those little moments where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna eat this shit for dinner. Like, this shit is my lifeblood. This is why I play this fucking game. It is
really like... Oh, it's so good.
It was, honestly, I almost wish we played this game with everyone having a face cam just so I could see the fucking reactions of some things. You know what, if I had to narrow it down to one thing, I think it's if I could explain the Boundless to Aaron. If I could just have his face cam on during of just me charting down every little mistake you ever made.
You know the worst part is while you were doing that, I was just moving around constantly at my desk. I could not sit still.
Oh, never mind.
I really, like, my brain really hooked on when you said that fucking unicorn was a wheelchair bound. Because some reason I pictured just, you know, like when dogs are missing their hind legs and they have, like, those wheelchairs for their whole back end.
No. He's in a wheelchair.
Sitting
like
in a wheelchair.
That's what he looks like. I'm not kidding. I have thought about this for months.
It's so good.
I've thought about this almost since Morkaba.
What?
Yeah. The unicorn.
That's fucking insane.
After I didn't end up doing because the reason why I didn't do the unicorn suing Kip idea is because I wanted to save him for the Boundless.
Are you okay? What the fuck was that?
Also,
you good?
Also,
My ear was itchy.
Also, a little bit of underrated one that I liked was a couple of Borrow Girl's dad.
It sounded like I was trying to say it earlier, but I didn't want to interrupt you.
Yeah.
It sounded like the fucking list of traps from that one Adventure Time episode of fucking the mountain that's got all sorts of shit on it, trying to kill them.
Are you talking about when they go to the Enchiridion?
I think it was because they were trying to get the head of one of the god guy.
I think I know what you're talking about. Oh my god.
Yeah, fucking Wild Trap Mountain.
Yeah, Wild Trap Mountain. I was just looking it up.
Yeah. What is, yeah.
They got the Squirrel Manticore's carnivore plants, camouflage rock beasts, mind control parasites, archer bandits, that one quiet dude nobody messes with, dragon ghost.
That really
Weekend survivalist, red ants, waking
That'd be
dream
really
demons,
funny.
that sounds like an
unnamed
Overdogs.
hurdle-like trap, and an unnamed shark mouth-like trap.
That sounds like some Overdog shit.
What if there's like a group that refers to hay bales, that one silent guy that nobody messes with?
That would be so badass.
That's so funny if everybody, like a subsection of people think Hay Bale's the most intimidating motherfucker on the planet.
He's got that
can you
plus
please?
4, dude.
I know that you didn't
I
go
like-
down the edgy route for Hay Bale, but if you
No,
could just
that'd
draw
be
him edgy once and put it in this slot where that picture is, please.
What?
Just draw edgy Hay Bale in there,
Oh my
please.
God.
Please draw edgy Hay Bale and put it there, please.
I'll make a fucking wanted poster, dude.
Any final notes on our lovely Frostwalker?
Friendship bracelet.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
I
can
was
we
not
go about that
expecting you
friendship
to make
bracelet,
a
please?
fucking friendship bracelet.
Can we just have a whole moment to talk about just Hay Bale making shit for people?
Yeah, that
Roll
was.
Tinkerer.
It's something. Before we get into that, any final notes about our little Frostwalker?
I really kind
There's
of
nothing
under that.
else I can really put too much into, unless I don't know how you guys roleplay your characters with emotions wise, because during when Ymir was, if you got on this, during when I was talking to Ruin about, confronting him, I never fully talk back to him.
Because you had respect
I was
for him.
expecting you guys thinking that I was gonna yell at Igor and big scary barbarian man, but I was trying to roleplay as someone who, is big and strong, but at this moment he is fucking terrified of this person. He will not talk back to this person.
He's the one that taught you everything you know.
Yeah, he is pretty much your father figure at this point.
That's why I was staying as quiet as possible during that entire conversation.
Yeah, you roleplay Ymir pretty damn good, dude.
Yeah, I appreciate the commitment you put into the fucking long con. That's really impressive. That's something I don't.
That's
see
one
a
of
lot
the
players.
under the blanket of talking about Ymir and earlier how I said how sometimes you just say shit that puts everybody and just makes them fucking quiet for a bit is the fact that how Jesse was saying he looked at his stats and everything. He's like, "Oh, charisma doesn't matter, intelligence doesn't matter. Let's go metagaming. Let's go." But then you take this and you turn it, and you turn him from just this video game character. You make his ass think so much.
It's literally the progression of how PS1 characters are I'm a fucking just angry guy, and then it's literally Kratos and Kratos 1, which is literally just God of War 1, which is literally just Zeus, and then God of War 2018 being releasing the bandages from his hands.
I forget what episode it was, but I made him very talkative. Very, very talkative, as you've, probably noticed.
Yeah, no, I like it.
I used to be quiet all the time, and I was like, this guy has a very tactician mind. He probably knows how to work videos decently well, so I started, speaking with him more and being more tactician about what he thinks about.
Remember the plan?
The plan was pretty fun. That's where that really came in.
The plan, God. Yeah.
That's why I went really into detail during, the session we just had with Ymir, thinking about all these plans and alliances and how he's going to move forward with this whole situation.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. That's really dope. That's honestly really cool.
He's putting to use shit that he learned from Ruin and learned from the Chargers, and I think that's pretty cool.
Speaking of characters who have learned shit, fucking Haybale's tinkering. Genuinely, it is such a unique player. This is something I just can confidently say. I've never had a player like James. I've never had a player where it's I will receive random messages of being can I make a thing for my friend that's not overpowered at all, but is just a sign of friendship? And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yes, please do.
I'm dude, you're doing the work for me. What the fuck? I don't gotta do fucking anything. I just let you tinker for 3 sessions straight, and then you go up to Ymir and you're like, "Here's a matchup, wait."
I was not expecting that at all. I thought he was making a fucking gun.
Yeah, that's so funny because it's 3 full sessions to make a friendship bracelet.
Yeah.
He put a lot of hard work and worship into it.
Yeah, it was a lot of arcana and religion checks.
Gavin, during all that, I was going to private message you if I could roll something to sneak over and see what he was working on.
I will say, I'm gonna set this as a ground rule now. Nobody needs to privately DM me to roll something. You can just say it. I've always thought that was just a little silly. But you guys don't have to privately DM me to ever roll something, because,
The only reason I did once, the only time I've ever done that was stealing Ymir's log from him, because I didn't
Yeah,
want
the
him to know
reason
it was
we do
gone.
that is because we don't want each other to know.
There was 2 times this happened. You also stole my fucking deck of cards.
You guys remember when Ymir got
When
hit
did
on
I
the
do
head
that?
with a coconut?
Yeah, that's why I don't have a deck of cards. You stole them. That's what I get with my mercenary background. I took them back
when did that
Did
happen?
you?
at some point.
I don't remember that.
Very long ago, one of our, I think it was our 2nd or 3rd session, but I remember it. He fucking yoinked, because I have 2 decks of cards. I started with 2. I don't remember where I got the other one from.
I don't even remember that, honestly.
I do.
Oh god damn.
You know, it's funny that
So
you
silly.
mentioned the tinkering thing, because there was something else I was thinking of working on.
Dude, damn it. Well, gang,
Oh god, I'm drooling.
I think this was a very successful sidebar. I think we really put all of our notes on the table here. I think we really got all the thoughts out. Any lasting notes and anything we want to say about Overdogs?
I know one of the first times I really spoke out as Ymir. Bathhouse with Delilah.
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons I'm so hooked on finding Delilah, is because Kip saw that as like one of the few times he's seen Ymir like truly be like playful almost.
And I think something that's been underlyingly tragic is that throughout all that time, Ymir never knew that she had the same exact backstory as him. Both of their clans were slaughtered, and they're both the lasting survivors of them. Like, fuck, dude. That's some shit.
What a quinky-dink.
What a coinky dink. So, what do we have to say about the Overdogs, and what do we have to say about the future moving forward?
I do have one question. Who exactly wiped out the Frostwalker tribe? Because I'm not entirely sure if it's the
not-
Jonkler Ruin guy or just, you know, the Gooner himself.
I'll tell you, it wasn't Ruin or Jonkler. I'm gonna tell you that much. But
Because didn't he say...
I was kind of curious on that
didn't
because he said some
say
shit
that
like,
was
"Who do you
him?"
think did it?"
Because I could have... Didn't Ruin say that he did that? Or like his Jonkler form thing said that?
it was at that point he was transitioning forms. It was when the goon was started to completely take over Ruin, and so their chat was kind of like assimilated, and they were like, because it was Ruin at first being like, shut up, let's just go, blah blah blah, and then as you started to defy him and abandon your friends, or you wouldn't abandon your friends, that's when the Gooner took over, and then that's when he said, I killed, because then at that point Ruin was no longer there. It was the Goon Wizard, and it was the sadist. But I'll just tell you, it was more directly the sadist.
Okay. Because I've been confused on that since then.
Yeah, if there's a question you have about like little semantical stuff, I know like sometimes I can catch myself on words. Do just ask me, because sometimes it's not like a grand conspiracy. Sometimes I just mess up my words.
You know it so well that trying to explain it, you're just like, oh, I gotta get it now.
Yeah, it's like, you know, it lives in my head for so long that after putting it in, it can be a little horrible.
That was my knee on my desk. That didn't feel good.
Yeah, you remember what I mentioned earlier with not having understood the sigil thing?
Yeah.
I still don't fully understand it.
I love you.
Quick little thing of how it works is the sigil is... Okay, so... Technically, Hay Bale was in the sigil. He didn't know it, and he didn't really get it. He was technically just a grunt and zealot for Varman. But the real front was they were assimilating clans, and at some point, Hay Bale's probably previous clan, or he was already there, or someone else brought him there, or whatever, some circumstances. He got his clan, or he was just born into it, was assimilated into the clan, into the city.
Probably stuff he wouldn't remember.
Yes, exactly. Trust me, he doesn't remember it, because that's what I wrote, and that's what you told me. He was born into it, he believed this lie, and he wasn't exactly of mind to really question any of it. He was raised in it. And the reason why you were raised to be a Bastorite was because the sadist needed people to properly represent Bastor so he could tear down Bastor and ruin his image. And so he created a bunch of false Bastorites to eventually just be pawns So there's a chance that if Haybale didn't leave Varman when he did, he probably would have been involved with like Leaf Veil and shit. He would have just been another foot soldier. When the actual
Disposable.
when the actual waves, the foots.
He would be speaking much, much worse English.
Yeah, no. But yeah. So what that has to do with everything is basically Haybale himself didn't. He was just a foot soldier. But what Varman had is Varman was the front for it all. That's where it all amassed. Because if you remember, the sigil knocked out the dwarves, and that's what started the rivalry between the Duergar and the, like what you wrote in your backstory, that that it was raised on like dwarven shit, and then the dwarves tried to reclaim it, and then that started that whole thing. And that was the Duergar. Those are the Grim. Was that the Articers or the Grim Iron? I don't remember.
I think that was Grim Irons.
I think it was Grim Irons. Yeah, that's basically what that all was. Basically, there was a place, and then it got taken over by the Sigil before Haybale was born, and then he was born into it, and then he became it, and then he left it.
Haybale being a part of the Sigil, but having no idea that he was a part of the Sigil just hits different.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, so
Like
yeah.
you said a while ago, James, it's the kind of concept of what have I been praying to?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
For a while, it was nothing.
How the hell did he get to actual Bastor?
Bastor ran out of choices. Unfortunately, the Sadist's campaign has been working, so he...
Well, I feel like it's, from what I've kind of seen, is it feels like he's run out of choices, and he sees Haybale as, like, this guy is super devoted,
Yeah,
and he doesn't even know.
He has the potential,
You know?
and he's also super attuned with beasts, and he's always living his truest self.
He doesn't know how to do it otherwise.
Exactly, he's undiluted by society. That's that whole thing Fearin told him, where he was like, Haybale was like, oh, you're probably a better Bastorite than I am, but he was like, no, dude, you're more primed to be one than I am. I'm burdened by societal expectation. Like, you live freely.
Fucking when Haybale said that he's tired of the smell of mushrooms in front of the mushroom people.
Like, when you said that, you got like 5 points from Bastor. Like, he was like, oh yeah, I'm so glad this dude's getting my vestige.
I didn't realize how bad it sounded until Kip started being like, hey Bill, dude.
But yeah, genuinely, if you have lore questions, do ask me that, because, you know, they are important, and I want to make sure everybody's on the same page, and everybody...
Especially when it comes to understanding, like, your own character.
So...
like, that's you're playing.
So, my final notes for this campaign is that I just want to say thank you to everyone involved, and thank God that we made it this far, and that we've committed this hard, and that you guys have given me and each other the time to fully flesh out your characters, and that this friend group that was already so strong allowed me to join it and add an element to it that has made something unforgettable, and we've created something that we will be talking about, no joke, for the rest of our lives. And that not for one moment have I been like, man, Friday night and I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons. Everyone else my age is at college or fucking drinking or something at a party, but now I drink.
I mean,
alone
half the
with my
time you are
friends.
drinking.
I drink alone with my friends on Discord.com.
We're playing pretend.
Yeah, and genuinely,
Discord.
we have laughed and cried over it, and
Oh yeah, especially during a bad hand.
we still have so much to go. This is the first of many sidebars I'm sure we'll have. But I guess at the end of the day, I just want to say thank you for giving me the time of day, and the fact that we can just stay up till 2 a.m. talking about the dragon game. So let's
Yard
just-
tag.
Yard tag.
Yard tag.
So let's end this off with a round of applause. Everybody go.
Well, thank you. Well, thank you for giving us a new hyperfixation and like agreeing to
Yeah, it's
You know-
your fault that I fucking
Yes.
make music videos in my head.
I do that. Oh,
Yeah,
I
no,
do that
dude.
hella.
I fucking thank you for saying yes when I basically came back after 2 years of us not speaking, dragged you here by your fucking earlobe, and then said, "Write us a story." You said, "All right, yes, sir, yes."
Right around the holidays
How much
too, dude.
Yeah, dude. It was November, I believe, when we started.
Yeah, because oh damn, that's crazy. Because we did Game of Games like literally, what, a month or two after we started talking.
I think it was, yeah. Doing that.
So, thank you to you guys. Thank you for the people at home. And I hope we have more good and bad hands in the future to continue to make us laugh and cry and
Shit and piss.
shit
and-
in this. And
Y'all-
let's keep
Scream
overdogging.
and whisper.
Everybody give me
Pirate campaign win.
Okay, everybody give me an overdog howl.
Damn, nobody else? What the fuck, guys?
The fuck? Come on,
Wait,
Alright.
it's gotta be KIF accurate. Let me find it.
God damn it, I know what you're gonna do.
It's gotta be
Was that Hey Bill?
Yeah. Bye everyone at home. Bye.
No, this one's Hay Bales.
Bye bye.
Imagine Hay Bale actually did just have this terrifying ass